Hello, everybody, and welcome. It's good to see everybody. We're going to go around popcorns, actually Thai style, and say who we are and where we're coming from and what's coming in and how many people we're bringing in, situations, and equality. So, if anybody would like to just start, that would be great.
I'll start. I think Cinder looked like she was reaching for the button. Sharon Raji here, Woodby Island, and I'm bringing in 64 individuals, a personal situation, all the situations planetarily coming from power over. And I want to activate the vibration of grandmother wisdom. Glad to be here.
Hi, Marley. I'm in New Zealand. I would like to bring in 15 people, my old sick cat, 3 personal situations, chuck the whole world in, and bring in the quality of compassion.
I'm Deborah. I'm in Sanford, North Carolina. I'd like to bring in 4 personal situations, 26 people, earthquake in Turkey and in Syria, and gentleness.
I can go next. I'm Cinda. I'm in Westland, Oregon, just south of Portland. I'd like to bring in 6 people and one particular situation. And I'd like to bring in the concept of self-awareness.
I'm Sue. I'm at Lake Goodwin. I'm going to bring in 35 people, 1 personal, 1 global, and implosion of the evil agendas. And I'm complete.
Hi all, I'm Sharon Alexander in Colorado, and I'd like to bring in 11 people. 1 main personal situation, and the quality of listening to understand. Thank you.
Deborah, what was your quality you were bringing in?
Gentleness.
Thank you. Alexandra.
Okay. Okay. Hey, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. My Zoom's doing something different. I guess they configure it once in a while. But anyway, I'm Alexandra, and I live close to Deborah Mangus in the heart of North Carolina. And let's see. I guess I want to bring into the circle healing and understanding. I have so many people in my life that let's just say I need to bring 33 in the circle, and I need to bring in 2 personal situations.
Hey, and I'm Audrey, and I'm in Wyoming, Pennsylvania. And I would like to bring in 39 individuals. 4 personal situations. And 3 global situations pertaining to children and pertaining to children. And with that, the quality I'd like to bring in is heart-centeredness. So as we set the space, we're going to set sacred space. I'm calling in the golden ultra sixfold cocoon, sovereignty, protection of safety, knowing that we are divinely held in this beautiful sacred container of wisdom and integrity and truth. We are bringing in 236 people, 40 personal situations, all planetary power over the world, earthquakes in Syria and Turkey, 1 global, and 3 other situations regarding the children. And the qualities we're bringing in to the sacred space is grandmother wisdom to be here, compassion, gentleness, self-awareness, implosion of evil agendas, listening to understand, healing and understanding, and heart-centeredness. And at that, I'd like to ask if anybody would like to bring in what's coming up for them before we start our journey. And if we do, we can just popcorn style.
Okay. Mm.
Alexandra, would you like to share something?
Um, um, I'm sorry I'm late. My husband had to go to the hospital today and has crushed ribs, and it's because he will not stop. He goes 12 hours a day. So I told him this was a sign from the universe. You know, sometimes you get a little tiny sign and then they get bigger and bigger. So anyway, I've just been scattered by that the last few days, and I'm a little discouraged. I've been going to a new homeopath, and I spent a lot of time and money, and I do not feel like I am making any progress, and this really bothers me. I do want to say that what's helped me the most in a long time has been the healing group that I did with sharing for about 12 Saturdays. And so I'm fine. I just feel a little overwhelmed today. And I finally told my husband, please don't tell me about any more problems at the restaurant. Don't tell me any more problems about your employees, because I've got all I can deal with. I just need to take care of me. And so that was actually good because I set some boundaries there. That's all I guess I got to say today. Thank you.
Thanks. Alexandra, can you mute? While we, thank you. Anyone else? I'd just like to share that I'm finding that mindfulness is key and balance. And I've always been in the emotional state historically, and I'm coming back to the mind state and being in the now moment. So at that, if does anybody else have anything else to share before we journey?
Yeah, I just wanted to share something in relationship, kind of like maybe what Alexandra was saying. I came upon a little picture. If I could find it quickly, I'd read it verbatim, but I can't find it quickly, so I'll just make it up. It talked about when we're focusing our on a life of simplicity, quality, but simplicity. It's really important what we keep and what we give away. And the question ought to be, does this fit? I mean, this is old hat. I'm speaking to the choir here, but it just hit me again another way that, we want this life of simplicity that works well. And it's not all cluttered and it's not all, overwhelming. And that means asking the question, does this fit in what I want to move forward with? So kudos to you, Alexandra, for boundary setting.
We will go on our journey now. What we're going to do is we're going to take a deep breath in through our nose and exhale out through our mouth. And with the next inhalation, we're going to take this inhalation down to our pelvic area and hold it. And then bring it out with an audible exhale. Because our breath is still sound and it is still voice. So inhale again. Take it down. Hold it. When you're ready, exhale out. And with each inhalation, you are becoming more centered, more focused. And third exhalation. This time we're going to breathe in through our heart. Feel the air come in through our heart, and each inhalation and exhalation, we are expanding our heart space. Letting go of anything that is holding us heavy, any density. Breathing that out through the heart, freeing up space within our heart. And as we breathe in and breathe out, we are going to go on our journey, guided within a tube of illuminescence where we are safe, protected, and guided. And the answers that we are deeply seeking, that we might not even be aware that we are seeking, will be given to us as we connect deep within the core of Gaia, our collective, and up to the cosmos, Jelania Kai, knowing that as we travel through this tube, we are picking up divine knowledge, divine wisdom that is going to come in through our heart space, where it will grow and flourish. So in this time of this journey, sit, explore where you go, and I will call you back in 10 minutes. When you're ready, come back. Breath, bringing it all into your heart. Coming back to full awareness of the space we are in. The sisterhood, community of sacred space. We'll open it to anybody who would like to share. We can do a popcorn style.
Start. I just started actually, so I can't tell you a whole process yet. But really being strongly led to discover how we can even more quickly and more instantly and collapse time to really accelerate the work we're all doing, so that we can get on with building the world from wholeness in our divine agenda. So I'm kind of still in that process. Thank you, Audrey.
Well, I had two things come through. And the first one was I was thinking about communication and putting in Tesla towers and how we tried charging salt crystals and sending messages out via the oceans and people and all that. And I was told to, if you want to get messages out in another way, tell your dog. And the dog will take it to dog consciousness. And put it into the world consciousness that way. And I have watched my dog and often thought, this dog is not just laying on the floor sleeping, this dog is off doing dog consciousness things. So I can't say that I was surprised by this. I can say that it's one of those things that makes me think that I make all this shit up. But that's what I got, so I'm bringing it. And the second thing I got, I've been working on prisons, and I did some work and removed the outsider collective that was in charge at one point. And I went back to take a look at that and saw this black miasma hanging out over prison still. And I was like, what is this? You know, this was removed. And I was told that the prisoners are holding on to this because, especially the long timers, because this is how they know how to act. This is the rules that they know that they are comfortable with. This is their space. And they know how to be in this mind framework. So I removed the black miasma looking stuff, and I brought in Grace and Mother Mary to help create an opening so that they could try a new way, a different heart space, so that they would feel safe. And that's where I went, and that's what I did.
Arlie, also make sure you include that actions on what we're calling strangers.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Sharon.
What's that? On strangers.
Well, what I discovered as I was getting ready for the last Tag 3 class last week, I'm going, because I often ask questions about all that I assumed, all that I know, going back over it, is it correct, and all correct. But they said what is also the major part of domination, power over energy is not coming from the outsiders. They're coming from outside of Laniakea herself. And it's a whole group that started to invade our space 300,000 years ago. So they weren't part of the galactic history. And they came in 5 different waves. When they saw what the outsiders were doing and how they were using our families, they decided that would be a pretty fun trick to do. And so they came in creating their own agendas. And so their home source is not Laniakea, it's outside it. Therefore, and we didn't even know their presence. We weren't naming them. So we're applying everything we have done and all that we do know presently and going forward to name them in the mix. And so we're doing intense work on that group. That's another reason for the time collapse. And we're just calling them strangers. That's enough. Everything the not allowed is still totally effective. It's just that we had to know of them in order to do what needed to be done to have the authority to speak and have them removed. So I think that's.
Are they easier to remove than the outsiders? Are they, because they're not so ingrained?
No, they're more entrenched.
Oh, they are more
Outside-
entrenched.
Yeah, there's about 10% of outsiders left, and you bump into them and they're saying, oh, great, I needed some help to get home. They're not entrenched at all. What we're seeing as entrenched is the strangers. They're very entrenched and they're very mean, and they haven't quite got the message that they're out on their way out yet.
Oh, you're kidding me. That's exhausting.
Yeah, but if we
A
don't do
whole
it,
other round of something. Oh,
yeah, and if we don't do it, it's called, we go under. So, what's good, what's bad.
okay.
But what we've done with the outsiders in the last 23 years is, it won't take 23 years for the strangers. We won't take that long. But it's just another level of awareness.
Oh man, it makes me exhausted. Well, I'll go next since my speaker's off. Arlie, sort of piggybacking on what you said, I just thought I would take this time, this beautiful time, traveling up that cylinder or tube or whatever you called it, Audrey, was so wonderful that I thought, well, maybe I'll just rest when I get to the other side of it. And but I didn't. I decided to just bless and work with the elements. And I found that when I came to the land, especially with the earthquakes and trying to bless and calm the lands, I was wanting to bless the people and heal the people and then carry the blessing to the animals. And then my mind wandered and I thought, in the trees and the plants, et cetera, et cetera. But then I thought about the animals and I thought, well, there's so many. Do I need to do it by category? Bless the deer, bless the bugs, bless the birds, bless, whatever. And I heard, Arlie, bless your dog, and your dog can carry that energy for you to bless all four-legged creatures, all animals. So I must have been in your zone, girl. That was pretty funny. Pretty funny. So I'm complete.
That was fun. I love the dogs. Audrey, thanks for having it be very heart-centered and consciously heart-centered today. I found that brought a new element in. And one of the things I've been working since Thursday when this came up about the strangers, and I had gotten a couple things to use, and today I got another one, Sharon, about and to collapse time and space stuff on it. And I can't share yet what it was. It needs some I was told not to share the technique yet. It needs some tweaking and stuff. But I would ask Sharon if you check, I don't have my pendulum or anything here, and I'm a little spacey today. I'm not sure what the level of the strangers was on Thursday, but if you could check from what it was then to what it is now and see how much of a difference there is, because this new one that just came in today felt like it was very powerful. And I'll be working to get it to where we can share it, but I was told not yet. Thank you.
Uh, 30% gone, Deborah.
Thank you.
I'm focusing on heart center, and one of the things that, because we deal with energy, is seeing the evil implode. If there's no organic source to support evil, it really has nothing to support itself other than fear and anger and hate. It feeds on and feeds into those energies. And I like the word imploding, but I don't want it to be physical, because well, like the giant earthquakes in Egypt, I want it to happen without destruction of cities and people. So we have worked on collapsing systems, and then we see some actual systems collapse, and it gets pretty scary because we're involved in all those systems. So if I go into my heart, and my intention is, how can the evil agendas, that the agendas not of our light, so I'm trying to keep it positive, how can the agendas not of our light be dealt with? And I don't have an answer, but I called in all the elements, because the elements can be incredibly destructive and they can be incredibly healing. So I called in all the elements to help reveal the love and light that we have within us. And if there is a way to dissolve that which we call evil, that has grown out of fear, hate, and greed, if that energy can be transformed without destruction to the light workers and all of those who are light workers and have no idea. And I'm just sitting and holding space. But the more I use my breath to focus and use focusing on my heart, it's changing me. And that I'm finding very interesting. I'm finding it very fascinating. And it's a process. So where I am today is just where I am today, and tomorrow will be another day, and the next day will be another day. And it's just a process. So today was another opportunity for all of us to come together and to put more positive energy into changing the balance between the light workers and the dark workers. And I'm complete.
Okay, I've unmuted so I can answer those questions for you, Sue. Anyway, the way we've been doing it in the tag classes. And first we set our space, and we all know about the six-fold cocoon, and that's very intensive protective. And it's, you put it around yourself, you put it around those what you love, your home, your property, everything is already protected with the six-fold cocoon. All the work we do is on that sacred platform. Some in the sixth world, some in the seventh world. We work on a platform beyond Earth. And then we have what's called the cosmic composting system. That's part of the evolutionary blueprint for the bodysuit and for cultures. And what we're looking at is dissolving cultures cultures So that evolutionary system, it's designed to enclose and contain. PTOs do the same thing, contain the space, and then set up, like a vacuuming system, so nothing goes outside of the space. And if it is of the light, it's transformed back into light as enriched light. If it is of outsider or strangers, then that is taken back to their home of origin. So it keeps everything contained, doing that. And then we also have the protocol called the Golden Song that comes in afterward to sing. We talk about the entropy. It's not just the entropy, it's just kind of that leftover, like Arlie was talking about with the prisoners holding on when they don't know they're holding on. There's just the Golden Song is a frequency, and I'm really been feeling really strongly for like a couple of months that using frequencies is really, really important. And that whether it's in a YouTube sound bath, YouTube chanting, I use it really, really regularly now in all that I do, and even in feeding into Code Love Circle, Guardian Circle, and into what I'm calling for now, fourth round is that Grandmother Circle, preparing it energetically through sound. So those three protocols, the sacred space, platform up above, and the cosmic composting, the sixfold cocoon, that's 4, I guess, and Golden Song. And then you've set your intentions. So if that's not enough for what you're doing in the moment, then your team will tell you what more you need to do. So that would be some suggestions I could give you.
Alexandra, you're unmuted.
Actually, my cat did that. Something weird happened. You folks were talking about dogs, and I have this cat that somebody dropped off 5.5 years ago, and it was during that major eclipse. And he was gold like the sun and white like the moon, so I named him Eclipse. Well, usually he doesn't even come in my office, but he won't leave me alone. He's loving you today. So I guess he's telling me that cats can help. I don't know if you saw him before, but he really, very unusual for him to participate, and he doesn't like strangers or anything. So anyway, I guess the message is let's use our cats as well as our dogs. Okay, that's enough.
I'll share. I loved the tube also, and the heart energy. Thank you for that. And I tend to move fast. And so early on, you said tube, and I was sliding down the tube into this big open meadow of flowers, and it was great and beautiful. And then I thought I heard you say you're journeying in the tube, like you're staying in the tube. I'm like, okay, I can go back in the tube. So then the tube wrapped around, the path of the tube wrapped around the earth, right, in different patterns, all around. At one point, it felt like how you might, I don't know how you all, if you sew on buttons, but I do them a little extra strong, right, just because I don't want it to come off again. It was kind of like that, but it wasn't sewing a button on the earth. However, the image then gave me a platform. Once I came back to the starting point after many revolutions all around the planet, then rest. That word rest came. I'll just rest in the sun. Like earlier this morning, I was thinking about the sun, and it's the full moon morning and all that. And that it wasn't, it was a benign, a nice energy to rest in. It was nourishing. And so I guess I was resting on a big button. And then I just went really deep, really far. I can't say up or down. For a while, I was thinking it was Laniakea, but I was energy. And so it was really nothing and everything all at the same time. And just a journey through like alleyways or columns, or, it was fascinating. It was nothing. It wasn't even just an experience, which was lovely. And it felt very nourishing and very loving and very beautiful. So I think for me, it was a deep and restful experience, which is just what I needed today. And my dog here also was just deeply resting. And so I will go and pass some of this on to him now. So thank you. It's beautiful.
Cool. So two of the messages that I really received is to sing to the trees and sing to nature, because they are wanting to connect to us, not just talking, and they want to hear our voice. They want to hear us sing. And also to weave a new world with the harmonics that each bring. A beautiful tapestry for those to follow. So they want us to weave a new world with the harmonics that each of us bring, and it will create a beautiful tapestry for those to follow. And as an aside, Arlie, when I learned how to talk to animals, I asked talk to Ollie, and he wanted a friend. And I said, okay, but I have to have all this criteria. And that was in October. And Quinn asked me maybe November when Ollie's friend is coming. I said, I don't know, Ollie's working on it. And in December, that's when we got Holly. So they do indeed communicate with each other. And as another aside, I've been doing a lot of land clearing in Pennsylvania, and I was guided to the penitentiary in Philadelphia. And I got there and I was like, oh, shoot, now how do I get rid of all this? Because it's very dense outsider energies. And they said, just take a hose, like a vacuum hose, and siphon it into the bucket, and we'll take care of it. So that's what I did. That's what was done. So I wanted to have that as an aside too. So it was like a huge suction, and it just, everything went up in and taking care of it. So yes, so I am complete. And thank you everyone for being here today. It's been an honor.
Thank you, Audrey. Thank you. It's always a pleasure to have other voices leading, don't you think?
Oh, very much. And Audrey, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Thank you, Audrey. It was great seeing you again.
Good being back. Good being back.
I love you all. Bye.
Thank you all.
Bye-bye.
Bye.